So here's the template I was talking about. If folks had phrases they want to work on, we can spell check them. Shaksaniki can help us with the correct word choice. And I can take notes on here for you and then share these slides with you if you'd like. And before we move on to corrections, was there anyone who didn't get a chance to present yet that would like to today? Shaqueen. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, I added more and I think what I added, I tried my best to get it correct.
Cool.
But so let me share my screen.
Okay.
There we go. That one. So continuation of what I've been working on yesterday, mostly talking about gao, herring eggs.
Wow. Okay.
And then I wanted to also introduce myself. I'm Jacqueline Yuchat Duasauk. My name is Strawberry Picker. Shitka Ayachat. I'm from Sitka. Tequeri Dich Ha Siti. My clan is Tequeri. Ne'ach He Yake. I will eat herring eggs with seal grease. Ach Pak Du Si Sak. Ichitin Ave. Achwachach Du Gachu. My uncle's daughter will eat herring eggs with hooligan oil. Achguk at. Akarich ish. She made my earrings. Erchin yach yati yao audirichin. It is like the ocean when the herrings spawn. Drihuch yach yati gauch. It is whitish like herring eggs. So I was trying to, with the last few lines, describe the earrings. So Erchin is the ocean when I looked it up. So I was trying to say that the blue in the earrings is like the ocean when the herring are spawning. And then the whitish color in the middle is supposed to represent the herring eggs.
Okay.
It was definitely like the last 3 lines that I wasn't sure if I did exactly right.
Okay.
But I tried.
Okay. So Sanikik, one line is ach guk at ish. She strung together my earrings.
Yeah, it's funny that I can't remember I think I used how you say it, coffee-ish.
Ish. I'm just taking notes while I look at your slide, Shaqueen, and while I hear Shaksani Kik. Ish.
And the colors is a good description.
Okay.
It's a real good addition.
Okay. Okay. So the colors she wrote 8 klein yachyati yao auditurin. It is like the ocean when the herrings spawn. What a cool word. I didn't actually know the word for spawn. I like that. And then it is whitish like herring eggs.
Late yachyati.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew I could use late The phrase book had offered whitish as liu, which is why I went with that, because it's not pure white, it's whitish. But I know it also says grayish or whitish in the phrase book. So
Yeah. I guess I responded because it's common, it's not a common word that I know about.
Yeah.
Whitish, I don't know if I ever really heard that word before.
Yeah, me too. That's an interesting word. I'm gonna pull it up on the phrase book and look at it too. Super cool, beautiful earrings, and it was cool to see how you described them too. So there's a section on colors and Lingit Class. I'm gonna pull them up since it's unfamiliar to both of us, and we'll just look at them together. Let's see. Oh, grayish or whitish. Gliwu. Or let's see. Gliwu. Yeah, I hadn't heard that before either. That's cool to see it in the phrase book. So I took some notes while you were talking. Ugh, for my earrings, Shakhsani Kik, would you say ugh guk adi?
Yeah.
Okay. So guk at is like ear thing or earring. And then since it's belongs to you, you add this relational suffix. So it changes from guk at to ugh guk adi.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay.
I knew there'd be little things like that that I wouldn't know how to change or fix. So,
Yeah.
Kunoshtish.
And then my uncle, let me check the spelling. I think the pinched K is at the end of Kag. So let me double check. Oh, wait, that's forehead. Let me look up uncle.
It's a regular K.
Oh, okay, regular K. Kag, my uncle. On my father's side?
No, it's I think it's understood when you say
Yeah, this should be mother's side.
Okay, Gunachish.
so on your father's side okay, I'm getting mixed up. Is it her uncle from her mother's side, which would be her mother's brother? So if he married an opposite clan, then the daughter would be. I wonder if
Yeah, right there on the bottom.
is there a separate word for niece?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So for niece, nephew or niece on man, so nephew or niece, man's sister's child, Dukeik, same moiety.
Yeah,
And then nephew or niece, woman's brother's child, Dukashk, opposite moiety.
that's the word.
Okay. And
And in
then,
this case, I'm talking about my cousin, though I know we don't have a direct translation for cousin.
yeah,
You need to drop the idea of cousins and think Tlingit. So there's no cousins. So what happens is it's because of the different clans, you have to come up with the right term for your mother's brother's daughter.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, you were right on Shakin Achkaksi. And you can just take out the apostrophe. There's no pinched on the K. It's just regular K, like Shaksagani Keek said. Mother's brother, Dukak.
So
Cool.
you should say that she was your niece. In English terms, that's correct. And also, we have different words.
Okay.
So we actually workshopped that phrase for my uncle's daughter the other day, and it was the ach kak dusi.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Mother's brother. Did you have any more questions on your own, Shakin?
No, I was just wondering if those last two lines, well, and also the one about stringing together the earrings, if those were correct, because I was trying to think, how do I say she made these earrings? And I realized that made doesn't really directly translate, but when I looked at beads, I saw the string together, especially in regards to beads, and that's how I came to, yes, that verb and the verb root. And yeah,
That,
ish. Is that how you say that?
yeah. And the long needle that's used for doing beadwork is called kaisha. So
Oh.
it's a word that I teach to my class. It's a long needle. But talking about that is not as hard as talking about your relatives. It's just I have to really think about it and look it up. So you're on the right trail. That's real good.
Ganashtish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I like your description of the earrings.
When my cousin was making these earrings for me, she was explaining why she chose the colors she chose. And she said it was to represent herring because we're from Sitka, where there's a lot of where we harvest the herring eggs and everything. And so I just spent some time trying to figure out, how do I say this in Tlingit?
Yeah. Don't go too fast over the 18. 18. You're speeding over it, so it's hard to pick up because you're trying to do it all in one breath. So take your time. Comes to that when you're talking about. I like it with silver. Somebody else likes it with what is it? Hooligan grease.
Okay.
I don't have any of that, so I eat it with butter.
Mm. Oh, we need to get our hands on some seal grease and hooligan grease then.
Have you had it before, the hooligan oil?
Yeah, I only get it in Southeast.
Yeah, that's my
So
mom, my mom was Chilkat, so we had a big barrel of it outside the door. And during the winter, it's you scoop it up, it's just really beautiful looking and so tasty. So that's our family preferences, hooligan grease.
on my mom's side of the family, we all eat it with seal oil. And so I didn't grow up ever tasting hooligan grease until my cousin came into our family, and she got a wonderful picture of one of our other cousins tasting hooligan grease for the first time. And if you were not brought up on hooligan grease, it can be quite the shock to your palate. And he had quite the funny face.
Yeah,
Because he was definitely not used to the flavor. And so after I saw his face, I tried just a tiny bit and was like, yep, that's different than what I'm used to. I think I'll stick with the seal grease.
yeah. The older people, especially those of us that were from the Haines area, use it as a daily kind of vitamins. Uh, there was a new teacher that came to Huna, and the principal took him aside and told him, "These people are really wonderful, and it's really great to work with them. You're going to find them really cooperative." And he just went on and said, and then he said, "But one thing you have to be aware of, they smell like grease." So, so he continued working, and he said he wasn't feeling that great as he's walking down the street, and one of the elders came along and said, "How you doing, young man?" He said, "I'm doing okay, but I don't feel very good." He said, "Come with me." So he took him to his house and took a jar out of the refrigerator. Said, "Take a spoonful of this every day." And so he was real glad he took it home and used it. I overheard him talking about it. And I was thinking to myself, now he probably smells like the rest of us. So, but they did use that a lot, like medicine. And when I was young, my mom gave us cod liver oil. And if you ever had cod liver oil, you'll know what I'm talking about. Give us a spoonful every day, and my younger brother, and I used to pay him a nickel to take my cod liver oil for me. I was telling my friends, and they said, "Is that your brother?" I said, "Yeah." "The guy with the curly hair and the big dimples?" "Yeah." "Maybe you should have taken your own cod liver oil." So uh, then my mom found out that seal oil had all the same properties as cod liver oil, but I had to take more. So she used to, for the both of us, she used to put a teacup of seal oil at, and leave it all day so we can just sip on it. And so it was really interesting because it really helps with being thirsty, and we'd come run in and take a sip and leave the cup. And then at dinner time, my mom would check the cups and bring it to the dinner table for us to finish. So it was not quite a teacup full, but maybe a little over half that we had to take. And we didn't mind. Between the hooligan grease and some seal oil, it was a good life for us. Yeah. I had experience with both. So now my preference is hooligan Greece.
Hmm. Okay. I know Dash Ginny, Mary Folletti Cruz, spends a lot of time every spring harvesting hooligan oil. And I think she does it both ways, where you ferment it and where you don't. Am I thinking about that correct? Or maybe she focuses on the style where you ferment it.
I like it fermented.
Yeah.
They, they used to use canoes. They just bring a canoe and put the fish in there. I don't know. I'm not sure how they did it, but I think they poured the boiling water in there. And I don't know what else they did, but then the oil would float to the top and they had to scoop it up.
Oh.
I don't know if they fermented the fish first and then poured the boiling water in there. I think that's what they call it. ferment.
Okay.
So it's probably really a lot of hard work doing it.
Mm. Does anyone in here also work on putting up hooligan oil or skinyatla? Did you want to share anything about it?
Yake Satini.
Uh,
So there's quite a few hooligan cooks that are taking place right now.
Mm.
So when we think about this area up here, we're thinking about the two sides. We have Chilkat on the one side and Chilkoot on the other. So there's hooligan showing up on both sides, which is everybody's just super happy. There's a lot of really good positive energy in the air because the hooligan haven't been back for a couple years.
mm,
So they're back, and right now there's these cooks going on. And so I experienced my first one back in 2013 at two separate locations. So one happened at 4 Mile, which is what they call Yandu Stake. And that
mm,
was my grandfather's favorite place to go. It's 4 Mile up the road. And then I also got to experience a cook in Klepwan. And so that was really pretty amazing too. I'm going to go up to Klepwan later on today, hopefully, to get involved. And so the process is they have a big cooker. It's really just as Shani Keek said that there's a lot involved, and they have often like a oil tank that has been cleaned out and cut in half and then laid sideways. And
mm,
what they do is they build that fire underneath. So in essence, it's like build up this um bench, for lack of better words. You bench it up, then put the cooker on top of it and fire underneath. The fermentation process is we grab the hooligan and put them in a pit and leave them until the eyes turn red. When the
mm.
eyes turn red, then you put them into the cooker. And so I think the water's already hot when you start putting those hooligan into the cooker. And then they cook it until it's ready.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's like skimming, they skim the top, and that's how they collect all the oil. And it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
A lot of hard work. I
Yes. Yeah, aware.
would like to get some. I usually try to make contact. I used to contact David Katsik, but now I don't know anybody.
I'll try to send you some.
That's wonderful.
So who would I contact to get it to you? Are you in Anchorage?
Yeah,
So I could let's see, my son lives up there, and I have another friend that goes up back and forth. She's let me see what I can do, and then I'll figure it out by the time I show up for class on Monday or Tuesday, I mean.
great. Yeah, my husband's not a native, but he likes that too. He likes hearing eggs. I I got a big bag of herring eggs and cooked it. And the next day I had to cook some more. We ate it. And then we had some leftovers, so we made a salad. And finally we finished it. And I said to him, are you tired of herring eggs? We can have some more. He said, no, I'm not tired of it. So that's what I'm going to have today.
Yay. And I would like to add one more part of something that I had the great experience to witness. So I had a really close elder friend in Klepwan. Her name was Ansuch Ganaktebi Sally Burriton. She passed away a couple of years ago. But she, when I first met her, she would say to me, well, honey, I had hooligan oil every morning on top of my pilot bread. I would just crunch it up and put it in my bowl, and then I would pour my hooligan oil on top.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the greatest story ever.
Good.
Good night, cheese.
Yeah, pilot bread is a good carrier for oils because it soaks it up and helps you digest it.
Yeah.
When I go to Yakutat, my friends always have lots of seal oil. And so if somebody brings over herring eggs, we always open up seal oil and dip it in there and eat it all day. It's so good.
I know herring eggs, even when it turns cold, it's still good.
Yeah. It's so pretty too. It looks so pretty on a plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to share either a story about food or any show and tell? You have any phrases you want help with? You mentioned that place, Yandistakya, that Gunote shared with us.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that too.
The place where you use your pole in your canoe, in your boat.
Use a pole.
Yeah, away. That's right. Yeah. Well, I do have something else to add now that I think about it.
Mm.
So Chilkoot Indian Association has a language class here. We do it 2 nights a week. And so Goneti, Marsha Hotch, is building a hooligan camp around language. And so
Wow.
that's why we're all kind of on the edge of our seats right now, waiting
Yeah.
for it,
Yeah.
because it's just like, this far away.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I can use more language around it. Because we had phrases that we were working on. However, my retention is not always what I'd like it to be.
That's okay. Yeah. If you ever have phrases you want help with in this class, you can always bring them and we'd be happy to help you too.
Or you can help us with Haynes area phrases that pop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aware.
Hello.
Hello.
Kade.
Hi. I was just thinking about berries, and you're talking about Greece. And
Mhm.
when I was younger, my grandma used to have 2 freezers, really big chest freezers. One would be for fish, and the other one would be for berries. And back then, it was like maybe in the early 80s, we would use these buckets to go pick berries. It was a family thing.
Mm.
We'd all be required to go out. Grandma would call us up, and we would go down, and my uncles would pick berries. Where there was lots of salmon berries, and we picked blueberries, and she would put them in salt and water or something, and then she would freeze them in these little Tupperware in the freezer. And every once in a while in the winter time, like around Thanksgiving or Christmas time, she'd pull out some berries, and I'd always ask her, "Hey, Grandma, how come our berries taste like fish? Did you leave it in the fish freezer again?" And she'd go, "Just eat the berries now." And later I found out she put grease in there because that's how we eat them. And someone finally explained this to us at a kuich, they were telling us, well, we used to preserve them in the grease, and that's how you would eat them. So we do this because um, it tastes good to us, and even though it took me a while to get used to it, when I got older, I miss it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's usually preserved in grease and water. So uh, the the berries, of course, have naturally have a lot of water, and the huckleberries or blueberries were the ones that were easiest to store for the winter in seal oil, and it's really wonderful uh, because you scoop that up. They had they actually had scoopers, like a big spoon with the holes in the in the bowl of the ladle.
Mm.
So it was kind of a interesting invention and design
Mm.
that was way before any other spoons were introduced to us like that, you know.
Mm.
So we were creative, you know, to do that.
Mm. Okay. Koti Okatla, your hand is up.
Uh, yeah, I just wanted to share. I'm inland, so don't have an experience hooligan or seal oil, but just to share, we do use bear fat, and I did try Shaksani Keek's Bannock recipe the other day and made it into cinnamon rolls, and I used bear fat in there in place of the lard, and it was so good. My
Mm.
great grandma always used to say that bear fat makes the best donuts. She always told me that. So when I was able to get some bear fat, yeah, I set some aside and I was like, I have to bake with this. I made salve with some for medicine, but yeah, it was really, really good in the bannock.
Wow. I never heard of that before. That's a new introduction to me.
Me too. That's really cool. Gunalchi Shainki Nigi. Thank you for sharing with us. I'm taking notes on everybody's stories because it's so much good information. Help me keep it in my memory for cooking. My family's from inland too. On my grandmother's side, we're from Caltag, way downriver on the Yukon. And my grandma told me that when she was little, her mom told her, go outside and get some berries to bring in here for our meal. And she went out into the cache, and there was a big barrel, and she opened the lid, and it was filled to the top with berries and sugar. And they kept it outdoors too to preserve it, but they preserved it in sugar.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was a new invention after introduction of sugar.
Yeah. And now my aunties in Caltech ferment their salmon berries. We call them salmon berries because you pick them when their salmon are running up the river. So it's just in reference to the time that they're ripe. But in Southeast, since that's a different berry, I think they're called cloudberries. But my Auntie Jo ferments her salmon berries, and it's so good too.
I think the traditional way they did those soft berries like strawberries, raspberries, uh, and salmon berries is to mash it up and dry it in little pancakes.
Hmm.
So you had dried fruit.
Oh, cool.
Now, I'm always amazed at all the things we did, like we dry the fish, we dry the meat, we dry the berries, we dry the seaweed, and it's a rainy country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be really diligent to we were trying to dry some the some Devil's Club, and they peeled the outer skin and for medicine, and we were gonna bag it and use it, but we had to dry it first. So we put it out on a board, and the kids playing outside, they knew about it. So every time it started to rain a little bit, they would run in and say, "It's starting to rain." So we'd run out and grab the board, bring it inside where it's warm. And then when the sun comes out again, then we take it out. So that was quite a task, I guess, drying everything to keep for the winter, and we succeeded.
Wow.
Just knew the country.
Wow. Skinya Tla, your hand is up.
Okay, I grabbed the sheets that we were working on the other day, and I'd
Mhm.
like to share a few words
Oh, you can.
from this hooligan camp.
Mm.
And so some of the words that we were working with, I can actually read Tlingit fairly well.
Mm.
I just have not really found that moment where I can start thinking in sentences. So I'll
Mm.
just read some of these words that we were working on.
Mhm.
Diga.
Mhm.
Diga is the dip net.
Mm.
Achasdik.
Mhm.
I am dip netting.
Mm.
Icha.
Mm.
The casting rod. Achas which is casting. Rewu.
Mm.
Achas kewu. Achas kewu.
Mm.
Let's see here some of the sentences. Asdik gak hwagut. Asdik gak hwagut. That's walking to the. Not sure how to break that one apart. Gusu ach diga. Gusu ach diga. Gusu ach Keisha. And then there was a couple other sentences. Let's see, I'll just go over a little bit more. Ade kanascha. Ade kanascha. Pour it out there. Ade kanasacha. Ade kanes. It's a Kanay Saxa. If you got a Y, isn't that Ade kanesacha?
Kai
I'm not
nice.
sure.
Kai nice.
Yeah. Kanesacha. Kanesacha. Okay, and then I'll just try one more.
Okay.
Ade akalsicha. Ade akalsicha. He or she poured it out there. So a lot of the motions were the buckets, and then we were talking about our decal, our dip net, and the aster. Let's see. I gotta get that word again. I got a little confused about the casting rod and the casting. The casting rod was icha, and then the casting itself was achaster.
I also heard shashchut for the casting rod. Where shashchut,
Shashchut.
there's an L.
Oh, shashchut.
Oh, like a chef. Mm.
Yeah, using a rod to catch trout or small fish.
Oh yeah. A goed.
I'm not sure, but I kind of think of that as like jigging.
Mm-hmm.
Achasdeach. Achasdeach.
Is like you're in one place and you have your fish, your line.
Well, we're going to try to put some of these words into place when we're out there at the camp in action. And then I'll come back with some more news next week.
Cool.
Cheese.
While you two were talking, I just looked up some of the words in the dictionary so we could look at them. But like Shakhsani Keek mentioned, like fishing with a hook. For they are fishing, you could say asteich. And then this word diga for dip net is in the dictionary too. Diga. Dip net for hooligan, the one that dip nets for fish. So that looks like one of the words that we've talked about before, that the double A at the end signifies the thing that you do this with. So deek, like you mentioned, skinetla for dip netting. And then you could add diga for the thing that dip nets.
Is that with a G?
Yeah, it changes to a G. D-E-E G high tone double A.
D.
Diga. Oh, goodness, sheesh, yeah. So that's a good reminder for me to the D. So she mentioned diga. I need to make my long E long instead of saying diga. You make them both long.
Cheese.
Diga. This one. So this is
I like the one with the saying. It's a word I was trying to think of earlier. I couldn't remember.
the saying. Is that qeywo?
Oh, yeah.
Qeywo. That one's in the dictionary too. Qeywo. Okay. Kadekai, your hands up.
Yeah, I had a question about accessing the notes on Tavuti. Are we going to be able to do that for these last few classes? I think I'm not able to access past week 13 or something like that.
Goodness, Chish, thank you for reminding me. I need to upload all these. And in the meantime, I'll do that for sure after class today. And in the meantime, just so you have them right away, let me put the link in the chat.
Yeah, just to kind of after class, will we still have access to these on the Tavuti?
Oh, you mean like after June when our class is over?
Yeah, or should we be like downloading backups or something?
That's a good question. Oops, I accidentally turned my camera off. Kachgun, do you have an answer to that? Will students be able to get on Tavuti after our last class?
Yeah, I believe so. I can look into extending it for a while. So I'll let you know, but yeah, it should be available for you all.
Okay, just in case it's not, what I'll do is give everybody access to my folder where I have all these slides. And I'll only give you viewing access. You won't be able to edit these ones, but if you do want to edit them, you can make a copy of any slide you want and edit it as you like. But just to make sure everybody has them, I'll put the link in the chat, and it should be, oh wait, I could do it for the whole folder. One second. So what I'll do is add this whole folder. Slides. And then I'll put this link in the chat. Okay, I just put the link to this whole folder in the chat. So now you all should be able to see any of the slides from any of our classes. And I'll put them on Tuudi as well. Oh man, it's already end of class. We only have 5 minutes left. Were there any other comments or questions before we close for the day? So just to give you Shakhsani Keek.
Yeah, I think the things we talked about today was really wonderful to bring back memories and to talk about what you're doing in family and whatever. It was really, really great. Gonna cheese.
Yeah, this was a really good discussion. I enjoyed hearing everybody's stories and just being able to spend this time together, sharing the language we know, working on it together, getting everyone's secret family recipes. So just to give you a look into one of our activities, Shakhsani Keek and I will line up what day we're going to do it. We're going to meet on Monday and plan our whole month of May. And afterwards, I'll be sure to put the schedule up on Tovuti so you can look ahead and see what we'll be working on. But one of the things we'd like to do is work some more, revisit the Catherine Grant's song. The song belongs to the Ductane Ton, and Ken Grant of the Ductane Ton was kind enough to share a photo of the lyrics. And so we'll put together an activity for you all, so we can learn the song together. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think for the one more week, we still want to talk about food, but in this case, we want to talk about preparing food. So keep that in mind.
Okay, that sounds really good. Springtime harvesting seasons are starting, so this is exciting. Any more?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you say you had the transcript of the song we were working on a while back?
Yeah, we have. Oh, go ahead, Shakhsani Keek. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, he sent us the words that his dance group used, and of course it's written by somebody who didn't in the computer or wherever it was. We have to make some corrections, and what we want to do is learn the words and then sing the song. So, and it's 2 verses. It's usually, you sing a Tlingit song, it's usually 2 verses.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have any Ductane Ton or children of the Ductane Ton in this group? Just me, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like no hands are up. Maybe just you, Shakhsani Keek.
Maybe that's why I like the song so much.
I like it too. Well, exciting. It looks like we have some fun things to look forward to. And if there's no more comments, we'll close for the day. And just wanted to say Gunchi Shwuch in Lingit Yuchatangi Shtutu. Thanks for studying Lingit together. And have a good rest of your day. Tsuye Kwasatin.